What's up, everybody? It's Gary V, and this is the Sports Card Strategy Show, because you know this, there is no off-season.
Yes, this is DJ Ski.
I'm Jeff Wilson.
Hey guys, Andy Broom, Vice President CGC Cards.
Hey, this is Jason Howard with Panini.
Yo, I'm Q Harrison.
This is Teapot from Sports Card Investor.
I'm loving the content.
Loving the content here.
The Sports Card Strategy Show.
The Sports Card Strategy Show.
This is the Sports Card Strategy Show with your man, Paul Hickey. What's good? Part of the NoOffSeason.com Sports Card Network, the #1 place for advice on how to make money flipping sports cards. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, there is no off-season.
You already know, there is no off-season.
No off-season!
All right, you ready to rock?
Ready to go.
When you get into this game, the reason why you pay someone like Paul Hickey to get your sports card strategy together is because sometimes when you're starting out, you need perspective, you need wisdom, you need insights. And so he's been around the track enough times where he can actually coach you up and guide you. Doesn't mean he's going to take you to the promised land tomorrow, but you now have a coach by your side that can advise and kind of even create these pathways where you can get the education yourself. And that's a lot better than thugging it out on your own. Thugging it out on your own.
The kids better buy my rookie card now, because after this year, the price ain't coming down.
Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Paul Hickey. It's time to sit back, listen, learn, and earn with me on the Sports Card Strategy Show. Sit back or participate, whatever floats your boat. Welcome in, NoOffSeason.com family. It's the Sports Card Strategy Show. Today is July 1st. Happy July. It is National Month, and I am excited for the National coming up at the end of this month in Rosemont, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. Hopefully, we will see you there. I will be there with Lefty and Interner and Mosaic Farmer Joe, Mofa Joe, a lot of other good friends in the hobby, and hopefully some NoOffSeason.com premium members will be participating in a meet and greet at the National. I'm already planning what that meet and greet is going to look like, as well as my own strategy for the card show. Will it be a good time to buy sports cards? Fanatics Fest wasn't necessarily a great show to buy at. I think the National could be. We'll see. I sold a bunch of stuff at the National last year. This year, I might do the opposite. I might acquire quite a bit at that show, depending on the prices. On today's show, we are going to talk about how to tell if a sports card is miscut, what play we made on NBA draft night, how many Cooper Flagg cards did we buy, the importance of communication with your significant other about your hobby, specifically this hobby. I want to talk a little bit about that because that topic came up a couple of times at Fanatics Fest with some people I was talking about, and I thought it'd be good to talk about it on the Sports Card Strategy Show. So we'll get into that. Also, how did our Shedeur Sanders draft night cards grade at CGC? Already got the grades back. That's the beauty of CGC cards. We're going to get into the grades, and I think that this could lead to more print on demand directly to CGC plays. We'll get into that. Also, how did our Topps Chrome Fanatics Fest exclusive blaster box sell on eBay? This was a product that Lefty and I acquired at the show. It was exclusive to the show. Nobody wanted it at the show. Nobody wanted it. And I think it was because maybe while it was limited to people at the show, there wasn't a limited amount at the show. So all of the vendors were able to easily get them directly from Topps. There was no need to buy them from people like us, the patrons of the event. But they did well on eBay. We'll get into that. Top sports cards to buy for profit over the next 3 to 6 months. We're going to get into, what to buy. Really, this show, for those of you who are new to the show, is about how to make money flipping sports cards, but it's really due to the fact that we want people to enjoy the hobby. We want people to participate in the hobby. We want people not to leave the hobby. And a lot of times what we've noticed, especially in our personal experience, is that many people get indoctrinated into the hobby through breaking or buying into breaks or ripping wax because either they're completely new, have never done it before, or like me and many others in the nooffseason.com fam and the Sports Card Strategy Show audience, did it as a kid. We collected cards as a kid. A lot of our audience is middle-aged men and women, age, say, 35 to 55, 60, even 65. And we do have an active audience younger than that as well. But for the audience members that are more in the, middle-aged category, if you will, a lot of us collected as a kid. It was very different back then. We left the hobby for a while because we needed to do other things in our lives. And now, whether or not you have kids that are in the hobby or whether you are into fantasy sports or, the sports books, just massive sports fan, or have become familiar with how much the hobby has expanded over the last 5 or 6 years since COVID, you're getting into it now, and you have a different experience, right? You have an experience of ripping wax as a kid, putting together sets, collecting sets. Well, now the price of wax has exploded, and the reason why is because of hits, right? Everybody wants the case hit. Everybody wants the big autograph. Everybody wants the low serial numbered card, possibly even trying to get game-worn patches and things like that of the top players. And the reality is that when you are indoctrinated into this hobby through big-time social media posts or live shopping apps or news articles about the big $1 million cards that sell or cards that sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars and things like that, your expectations are a little bit out of whack, right? And so you need a reality check, really. And that's what this show is. This show is a reality check. We encourage people not to buy into breaks. Those are huge mistakes that we have made. It's a complete waste of money. We encourage people to buy the right card for the right player at the right time in terms of a singles standpoint, typically off of eBay or at card shows or potentially via other avenues when you have relationships with people in this hobby, and avoid the gambling aspect of it. Avoid the gambling aspect of it, because buying into breaks, ripping wax, that is all gambling. You're spending a lot of money, a lot of times for nothing, or cards that aren't worth anything. So we have a lot of tools at nooffseason.com to help you track how you're doing in the hobby. You can make money in this hobby, and we have a tried and true way for you to do it at nooffseason.com, and the Sports Card Strategy Show is your gateway into that. Are you tracking your sports card profit and loss sheet properly in 2025? We have Sports Card School at nooffseason.com, as well as an inventory tracker to help you do so. Go premium at nooffseason.com. We have multiple pricing tiers, weekly, monthly, and annual. Use the promo code NOOFFSEASON to save 20% now. If you're having problems buying into too many breaks, like I just mentioned, and it's becoming sort of a gambling-esque habit or even addiction, email me. Email me at paul@nooffseason.com. I can help you. Again, earlier in the episode, I mentioned we're really close to the National. It's this month. Don't forget that 10 people will be able to meet us at the National. If you are planning on attending, we'd love to meet up with you. Go premium at nooffseason.com and use your member points to be one of the 10 people that can attend our meet and greet. Spots are actually filling up, so there's less than 10 spots available. We've had some premium members at nooffseason.com already sign up for that. So welcome in if you're new to the show. Again, we're here to give you a different way to make money flipping sports cards than buying into breaks and ripping wax. We're going to get into more of that. And hello to everybody in the live chat. Most of you are listening on Apple and Spotify, but you can follow us live on youtube.com/Paul Hickey. Hello to Pick Six Cards and Sports Card Strategy on Instagram, LA Sports Cards, Grail Chase Marketplace, J Millie Rocks, JC Sports Cards, Jim Mint Masters, V Bros Collectibles, Pipes Buffalo, Steve-O Collects, and Slab Tree. Guys, join us over at youtube.com/Paul Hickey if you want to join us live. It's just way better. It's a way better stream on YouTube than it is on Instagram. Instagram has had issues with their live streams, and so we highly, highly recommend using YouTube, or just listen to us on Apple and Spotify if you can't catch the live stream. That's where most of you tune in. Rob in the house, what's up? as well. Rob S. That's a new name in the live chat. Good to see you, Rob S. Thanks for listening. Okay, everybody. I need to issue a correction from last week. Last week in our vintage play of the month segment, I brought up a Peyton Manning 1998 Topps Chrome rookie card, and the play was to buy it in a PSA 9 and then crack it and submit it to BGS to try to get a BGS 9.5, because the PSA 9 price was, let's see, the PSA 9 price on that card, the base card is $100. And the last sale was yesterday, June 30th, $100. And I said on the show last week that the BGS 9.5 was $1,100. Well, that was a sale that it was then cleaned out of eBay. So that was not the correct pricing. And I think not only that, but I think that there were sales that were cleaned out of eBay that brought the 30-day average down. So the actual 30-day average on a BGS 9.5 is also $100. So there's really no play to try and crack a PSA 9 of the 1998 Topps Chrome Peyton Manning 165 base card in a PSA 9 and crack it and submit it to BGS. That play does not exist. A BGS 10 pristine last sold for $1,300, but there's no way that a PSA 9 would cross over to a BGS 10 pristine. There's just no way. Now on the refractor pricing of the PSA 9, that's actually a $1,600 card in the last 30 days. And the BGS 9.5 is $2,850. Last sale, $2,850. And the BGS 9, $1,225. So that could be a play. That could be a play. A PSA 9 at $1,600 of the refractor over to the BGS 9.5 at $2,850. Now, some of you reached out to me on Instagram to let me know about this. I caught it myself too. And then some of you reached out to me on Instagram at Sports Card Strategy. And I did admit to you guys that I did make the mistake. I'm not sure how I made the mistake, because when I went back to double check, okay, did I somehow look at the base pricing on the PSA 9 and the refractor pricing on the BGS 9.5? That didn't line up. So it has to be something where basically some sales had to have been cleaned out of the database that I was looking at from an eBay perspective. So I wanted to just, either way, I got it wrong in last week's episode, and I wanted to issue a correction. So I apologize for any of you who went out and bought PSA 9s of that card, hoping to crack it and submit it to BGS for a 9.5. Email me at email me at paul@nooffseason.com if that was in fact you. If you did actually make a purchase, and I'll connect with you. But we do make mistakes. We don't make many mistakes like that on the show because we're pretty good at the analytical data and analysis. But stuff does happen where there are sales that appear legitimate and then they get cleaned out later. So anyway, we will have to just continue to do better due diligence in our process moving forward, whether it's free on the show here or whether it is paid at nooffseason.com. Okay, so speaking of always wanting to get better and making mistakes, many of us make mistakes with our significant others if we have a significant other. And when you have a significant other, whether it's a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, whether it's a fiance relationship, whether it's a marriage, whether it's just a partnership that you're involved in, whatever kind of relationship it is, the importance of communication with that significant other is critical, right? Because I'm no marriage counselor, but I will say this: money is definitely an issue in any relationship, right? you can go get that information elsewhere. I'm not here to tell you all the stats on that. We all know that to be generally true. Money can be the root of a lot of arguments, fights, and unfortunately, relationships going sideways and people drifting apart from each other. So I think it's important to talk about what your actual goals are with your significant other. And if you don't know what your goals are, then just tell them that, right? You know, when I'll just share my personal story real quick. When I found my old sports card collection at the end of 2020, I got hooked. Like, I got hooked, and I used to be pretty addicted to fantasy football. I still play fantasy football, but I used to be pretty addicted to fantasy football. And my wife has always been super supportive of that, but I was open and honest with her about it earlier in our marriage too. Like, you know, I am really into this. Like, I really actually care. I really want to beat my friends. You know, if you guys have ever seen the show The League on FX, I would say that I was probably, 2 or 3 times more intense in my fantasy football league than even the fictional characters on that show, which is ridiculous. So, digressing back to sports cards, I know the feeling of the passion of the borderline addiction, right? And like, addiction is a strong word, but let's just call it like it is. Like, when you feel yourself being so passionate about a particular hobby or topic, and you know yourself well enough to know that you're going to be spending a lot of time in that subject matter, right? Like, whether you like to watch movies or you like to read books or you're addicted to the social media scroll or whatever it is, like, you need to have conversations with your loved ones and the people around you about how much time you're spending on these things. You know, some people are overeaters. Some people are, fitness, fitness people, but maybe they spend too much time at the gym. They spend too much time working out, that kind of thing. It's like, whatever you're most passionate about, you need to check yourself and say, okay, how much time am I spending in this? And the reason I say that is not because I'm some life expert guru. It's because I have a lot of life experience and I know this hobby. I know this hobby very well. And this hobby can get you. I mentioned earlier in the episode why we're here. We're here to keep people in the hobby. We're here to prevent people from wasting their money. We're here to give people tools to do the research so that they can make smart decisions and keep themselves from this haphazard spending that can happen very quickly in the hobby that can bring trouble into your personal life with your significant other and then make you want to leave the hobby. And that's no fun. So we need to help people develop a balance. And I think if you have a significant other or a partner in your life that can help you develop that balance, that's a good thing. And you should talk with them about it. And you should have sessions with them about what your goals are. Why are you doing this? Why are you buying sports cards? Are you buying them to collect them? What are you going to do with that collection? Are you in the hobby to make money? Okay, great. So what's your goal? Is it $1,000 a year? Is it $5,000 a year? $10,000 a year? Are you trying to do this as a full-time job? We are here to help you do that, but you need to talk with your significant other about it. Otherwise, you could find yourself either out of your relationship or out of the hobby. Terry Anderson says, happy Tuesday. My wife doesn't really care. I periodically tell her how things are going. Tons of packages come in and she ships a ton for me. She's a gem. Now, I think Terry, thank you for sharing. That's awesome. And hello to Andrew, Richard Villarreal, and George S. as well. Terry, that's awesome. I really appreciate you sharing that. I think that, that's actually probably most of us. Most of us are, like I said, middle-aged men. Let's just be honest. Most of us consuming this show are middle-aged men that have disposable income. We have jobs and we have disposable income, and we manage that disposable income across several factors in our lives. If you have kids, that can be expensive. If you have a mortgage payment, you have car payments, you have maybe savings accounts that you want to save for. Some of you may even have grandkids, and maybe you're starting accounts like 529 accounts for them, right? And so whatever it is, I mean, some of you might only be age 18 through 25, and you're like, hey man, I need to be fiscally responsible because I'm trying to move out of my parents' house. You know what I mean? So that's cool too. I think that most of us are in a situation where the people around us know what we're doing, know why we're doing it, and essentially just trust us. And I think that's kind of what Terry's talking about, is like, Terry says, my wife doesn't care. She supports me. She likes to know the details, maybe over a quick dinner or something like that. But it's not like you guys are, you don't have to have like these big talks. I get that. That's cool. I think, and that's my relationship too. Like my wife and I, like, obviously I do this full time. This is what supports our family. So my wife, as long as we're paying the bills and everything like that, and I'm happy and I'm not stressed out, that's all my wife cares about. She knows that, I've got packages coming in and out as well. And there was a point in time when we lived in Spain where I was shipping a bunch of stuff to my in-laws' house, and that got kind of crazy. So I had to have talks early on with everybody in my family about, look, guys, this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. Trust me. I'm fortunate enough to be able to have those relationships where everybody trusted me. And I'm fortunate enough to be in the position where I am now, where I'm able to do this for a living. I've done it for a couple years in a row, and I don't see any signs of slowing down. I see myself doing this for the rest of my life. And I want you guys to be able to do it for the rest of your life if that's something you want to be able to do. So maybe it's one talk with your significant other. And then after that one talk, it's like, hey, I'm not going to sit here and tell you my profit and loss on every single situation, every single card. But maybe like we'll look at things annually, or we'll look at things quarterly, or maybe like, Terry and I are kind of talking about here, maybe never. Maybe it's like, hey, I trust you. We're good to go. No problem. So, drop a comment below at youtube.com/Paul Hickey. Feel free to email me at paul@nooffseason.com if this resonates with you. I just think it's important to make sure that you're not hiding things from the people around you. Don't feel embarrassed about this. I mean, there's literally like tens of millions of us that are doing this for our hobby. So let's stay in it together and help each other out. Wouldn't it be nice if there were a tool that you could just upload pictures of a card and it would tell you what it would grade and or what it would be worth in the future? We built one. It's called the Card Analyzer and Predictor tool, and we want you to check it out. It's at nooffseason.com. You actually don't need to be a premium member to use that tool. It has way more features for the premium members, but check it out. And if you're confused by grading your cards, grade with us at nooffseason.com. So we grade with PSA, CGC, SGC, and Beckett, because they all have different service levels, different turnaround times, and different costs. So depending on the play you're trying to make, we can help you out with that. PSA for the value bulk is taking a few months. CGC takes a couple weeks. SGC takes around that. And Beckett, depending on the service level, can take about 45 days or longer. So I think it depends on the situation you want to be in, which is why, and it's very card dependent in terms of grading. I think it's more situational. I think grading is become, it used to be like, oh, go to Beckett. Then it was like, oh, it has to be PSA. And then PSA in 2021 got overwhelmed. They had a backlog. They shut down for several months. So then everybody started going to SGC because SGC wasn't overwhelmed. They had capacity. So SGC did a great job. And then CGC came on the scene, and, Beckett was struggling, and now Beckett's actually churning out submissions, doing a good job. And so now everyone's like, well, where should I grade my cards? Now PSA is overwhelmed again. So you have to pay $39.99 a card to get it within 20 days. But if you pay $19.99 now, it's going to take like 3 months, which is kind of crazy. So we're in a situation where it's like, I think it's more card dependent than ever. So just grade with us at nooffseason.com. We track your gem rate for you as well. Okay, so now let's get into what did we do on NBA draft night? So for those of you new to the show, this has been an ongoing topic between Lefty McKee, my co-host, and I, who is unable to be with us today because of just scheduling conflict. He'll be back next week. Don't worry about it. And happy 4th of July week to everybody, by the way. So, hopefully, even if you're traveling this week, you can catch us on Apple and Spotify if you're not able to be on the live stream. But Lefty and I made some big plays on NBA draft night. Now, going into the draft, I was anticipating Topps maybe doing what they have done in the past with the NBA draft, which is selling limited edition autographs of the top picks on Topps Now, Topps.com, but the Topps Now product. Selling, like, they used to have like out of 99, out of 49, out of 25, maybe out of 75, out of 5, and 1 of 1, right? And you used to be able to go and buy them outright, but you obviously had to be one of the first 99 people to get the out of 99 autograph. Then what they started to do, and I remember that from the 2023 NBA draft with Victor Wembanyama. Then what they've started to do over the last couple of years with other products, other Topps Now products, not necessarily the NBA draft. I think it started with the start of this NFL season, this past 2024 NFL season. They started to randomly insert the autos into the 20 packs, which I call the jigglers, right? So you buy like a 20 pack and, but there's also like a 1 pack, a 5 pack, a 10 pack, and a 20 pack. So they would randomly insert them into the packs. I call them jigglers because they come in these plastic containers that the cards literally jiggle around in when they send them to you. So that's what they did on draft night. They randomly inserted autos into the jigglers. Now, this took away the ability to be one of the first to Topps.com and try to buy the card, the autograph. But I think it might be better for everyone to have them randomly inserted because it gives everybody a chance to potentially get lucky and get one. Whereas if you had plans on Wednesday night last week at 8 p.m. Eastern time, like you weren't going to get one because you might have been out to dinner, or you might have been at your kid's baseball game, or you might have been driving somewhere. You know what I mean? And so the thing I like that's different about this Topps Now play, for those of you who are new to the show, is that there is a play with the base cards. So these base cards are going to come in around $6 or $7 a pop, and they're going to be well made. These cards typically have a high PSA 10 rate. They have a high gem rate at not only PSA, but all the other grading companies. And so the play is to buy them in bulk and then send them off to grading and then sell them in eBay auctions or buy it nows when you get them back, and to try to do it as quickly as possible. Now, the Cooper Flagg card, the first Cooper Flagg card at Topps.com was the one that I bought. I bought 60 of them. So I bought 3 20 packs, 3 jigglers, and all in, it's about $550 for these cards. Now, I've given myself 3 chances at a low serial numbered auto or a serial numbered card that's a non-auto. If I get one of those, that's going to be a huge win. If any of you get one of those, that's going to be a huge win. The sale for these ended on Sunday. So if you're listening to this show right now and you're new to the show, you're not able to get one right now. But don't worry, because we talk about these opportunities quite a bit on the Sports Card Strategy Show. I would say there's 5 or 6 opportunities like this a year. And if you're a longtime listener, or you just started listening to the show a few episodes ago, you already know about this play, and I hope you bought at least one jiggler, right? We've been talking about this on our Discord. We have a premium members only Discord at nooffseason.com. And one of the Discord channels for the premium members is Topps Now and Panini Instant Plays, because this is where I've profited probably the most over the last couple of years, is these types of plays. When a player's first card comes out and it's a significant player like Cooper Flagg. I didn't buy any other draft pick, by the way, only Cooper Flagg. So I bought 60 Cooper Flagg cards, 320 packs, $550 including tax and shipping. They should ship in the next couple of weeks. As soon as I get them, I will likely send them all to either PSA, or I may split some up, send some to CGC and some to PSA. They're likely all going to gem because typically these Topps Now cards gem. Kendall, the lefty McKee, bought 5 jigglers, mostly trying to get as many autos as possible, which he'd be lucky to even get one. All of us would be lucky to even get one, but he gave himself 5 chances at autos. I gave myself 3. He said he's probably going to sell 50 of them raw. I probably won't sell any of them raw. I'm probably going to grade all of them. And even if I don't get any of the low serial numbered ones, I am going to make a boatload of money on these. Like they will sell very well. So again, they call them open edition base cards. That means however many are ordered, that's how many they're going to print. There's foil parallels numbered to 99 and lower. So if any of us get those, it's definitely going to be a win. A huge win. There's out of 25 on-card autograph redemptions. Out of 10 on-card autograph redemptions, 2 out of 10 are inscribed my first pro auto. There's a out of 5 on-card autograph redemption and a 1 of 1 on-card autograph redemption inscribed first overall pick. There's parallels in addition to that. Out of 99 green foil, out of 75 blue foil, out of 50 gold foil, out of 25 orange foil, out of 10 black foil, out of 5 red foil, and 1 of 1 foil fractor. Parallels or other non-base card hits will replace the base card in your order. Odds of hitting a non-base card are based on the total cards ordered. Processing time for this item begins after the sale clock expires, like I said, which was Sunday. If you choose upgraded shipping method, it will only expedite the shipping time, not the processing time. So the Cooper Flagg, it is officially card D1. He's in his draft night suit, and he's got both hands on his lapel of his jacket. It's got an RC shield on it. It's a good-looking card. So this card's going to do really, really well, and it's going to be a huge win. So I hope you guys got some. If you like the content on this show, get an extra weekly Friday podcast for premium members only by joining nooffseason.com today. Use the promo code NOOFFSEASON to save 20% now. All right, it's time for From the Formula. So what this means is we have sports card. We have the only sports card rankings in the world. And so again, if you're new to the show, like there's a lot of tools out there where you can go and check the pricing on cards, right? There's like 130 point and market movers and card ladder. And there's like a bazillion other alt and some of these other ones where you can check the pricing on cards. You can even do eBay sold listings. Our card analyzer and predictor tool is better than the eBay sold listings and better than 130 point at just simply checking the pricing. But our sports card rankings at nooffseason.com don't just check the pricing. We use a mathematical formula to tell you the likely ROI in the future, and then we rank cards based on which cards have the highest ROI in the future. We have 3 main categories: raw to grade, already graded, and then PSA 9 to BGS 9.5, because there's tons of opportunities there. So PSA 9 to BGS 9.5 is where I want to start. I just want to pull some cards from our sports card rankings to share with you all free of charge here on the Sports Card Strategy Show. Victor Wembanyama's 2023 Prism Silver 136 PSA 9 has an average 30-day price of $292 in PSA 9. The BGS 9.5 30-day average is $493. That means that you're likely to make 29% if you buy multiple PSA 9s, crack them out, and submit them to BGS. You're likely to get enough 9.5s to make 30% on that. So I was flapping my jaw early on in the show about how we help you make money flipping sports cards. That's just one of hundreds of ways that we help you do it. Now, in terms of raw to grade, we've got some big movers. And so I think it's important to talk about the movers, the biggest risers in our sports card rankings. I'm going to read off to you some of the biggest risers that I believe are going to continue to stay at a high ROI percentage. Lamine Yamal's 2023 Donruss 177 Optic Hollow Club card, where he's in his club kit, his FC Barca kit. That's a $42 raw average sale in the last 30 days. It sells for $61.50 in a PSA 9, which means you're breaking even if you get a PSA 9. It sells for $257.38 in the last 30 days on average in a PSA 10. And based on its gem rate, if you buy multiple raw copies of this card and get them graded at PSA, you're likely to make $120 per card. So that is a 59% ROI. Paulo Banchero's 2022 Prism Silver 249 does not have as high of a gem rate, but it doesn't matter. Because if you buy multiple copies of that card raw at $60 a card, its upside in PSA 10 is $362.44. And this is during the NBA offseason. This is going to go up during the NBA season. So you buy multiple copies of this card, have them graded at PSA, you're likely to make $153 a card. That's a 58% ROI. Brock Purdy's 2022 Prism Silver 353, $130 raw, $441 in a PSA 10 in the offseason. It sells for $173.75 in a PSA 9. So you're breaking even in a PSA 9. That means buy multiple copies of that card, get them graded at PSA. You're likely to average a $261 profit per card. That's a 44% ROI. Caitlin Clark's 2024 Prism Base, if you don't want to spend more than $20 on a card and get it graded, that's a $19 card. It sells for $36 in a PSA 9, but because she's Caitlin Clark and this is her Prism, it sells for $216 in a PSA 10. That equals Brock Purdy's ROI percentage of 44%, $71 per card. Now, Jaden Daniels, this is a newer one that we've added to the formula. Jaden Daniels, his 2024 Optic Hollow 248 sells for $63 raw. It just came out. So this one's a little riskier. It just came out, but it sells for $75 in a PSA 9, so that would be a slight loss. It sells for $445 in a PSA 10. Now, here's the deal. If you're going to make this play, you got to be certain that the photo looks like it's going to gem. And you can use our card analyzer and predictor tool if you want. We'll help you with that. But it's got to be really well centered, no visible surface flaws, no print lines. It's got to have no edge corner issues, right? And I think you would need to submit it at the $39.99 level so you could get it back in 20 days because this card's likely going to go down in PSA 10. The others that I mentioned probably won't because they've been out on the market longer. Jaden Daniels Optic Hollow 2024 rated rookie has not been out on the market long, so there's not many graded copies yet. As more and more graded copies hit the market, the price on this card will go down. $445 right now in a PSA 10. You can make 71% on that if you're quick, but it's probably going to go down. You know, you'll still be able to make money on it if it gems, but the longer you wait, you'll make less money. Are you ready to start grading your cards? CGC Cards is the perfect place to slab your favorite sports cards. From their crystal clear holders to their affordable pricing, CGC Cards is the perfect stop for your grading needs. Go to cgccards.com to start grading today. Speaking of CGC Cards, I have graded more cards with CGC in the last few months than I really have any other grading company personally. And that's because I bought quite a few Shedeur Sanders Draft Night cards from Panini. And I'm happy with my grades from CGC. Listen to this. I just got these grades back. 1.8, 1.8.5, 3 9s, 14 9.5, which is a mint plus, but I got 21 gem mint 10s and 5 pristine 10s. 5 pristine 10s. So I mentioned earlier that there was a big play that you could make with CGC, and I wanted to test it out with the Shedeur card, and it worked. I got 5 pristine 10s. That's better than a CGC gem mint 10, and in theory, it's better than a PSA 10. So it's a sick looking label. I can't wait to show it to you guys. And I'm thinking with the Cooper Flagg cards, when I get them, I'm thinking of sending maybe 20 to CGC and 40 to PSA, something like that. Because if I can get multiple Cooper Flagg pristine 10s and sort of be first, quote unquote, first to the market with those, or early to the market is probably a better way of putting it, then I could make some serious cash. So CGC is a play with these print-on-demand cards from Topps and Panini to get that pristine 10 grade. All right, I want to recap some eBay sales because those of you that followed Lefty and I's voyage to Fanatics Fest, where we basically tried to sell everything that we got for free and flip everything that we bought from the show, you might remember that there were hobby boxes of Topps Chrome Series 2 baseball in the VIP gift bag. And sorry, Topps, not Topps Chrome, Topps Series 2 hobby boxes. But there were also Topps Chrome blasters that were exclusive to Fanatics Fest. I'm wrong again, not Topps Chrome. Topps Series 2 Fanatics Fest exclusive blasters. So Lefty and I paid $54 each, and we each bought 2 of the blasters. Nobody at the show wanted to buy the blasters from us, essentially because everybody at the show could just go to Topps and buy them. So we sold them on eBay. Box number 1 sold for $72. Net profit after fees, $64.38. Box number 2 sold for $72. Net profit after fees, $65.08. So about $10 per box on each of those. Box 3 sold for $81. Net profit after fees, $70.33. And box 4 sold for $72. Net profit after fees, $64. So the total profit on the blasters was about $8 to $10 per box, which isn't huge. But at the show, Lefty and I were a little nervous because nobody wanted them. Now, on the free hobby boxes that we got in our VIP gift bag, we kept them sealed, sold them on eBay. Box 1 sold for $110. Net profit after fees, $95.55. Box 2 sold for $120. Net profit after fees, $104. So we did pretty well on those. And then there were some other giveaways at the event that I was able to sell on eBay. There was a V-Friends TCG pack that Ziggy gave me, friend of the show, Ziggy. I had Gary V sign that. That just sold for $27. This was just a TCG V-Friends pack signed by Gary Vaynerchuk, sold for $27. So my net profit on that, thanks to Ziggy, I should pay Ziggy half of this at least, $23.72. So Ziggy, you got something coming your way at some point, my friend. Then there were V-Friends free packs that V-Friends gave away, and Topps gave away free promo packs. So I sold all 4 of those to the same person, and that person paid $59 all in for those 4 packs. So that's pretty significant. So I didn't pay anything for those, and a total net profit of $50.49. The VIP hat, I got a total net profit on eBay of $8 for the hat that I would never have worn. I don't think anyone that I know would ever wear that, including Lefty. The VIP pin, I sold for $2.25 net profit. The VIP baseball sold for $5.51 net profit. So just a little update there for all of you on how you can continue to monetize things from a big card show, even after the show. And it's time to go where they ain't. So this is where I pick a player and cards that nobody else is really looking at as a calculated flyer play for you guys to look up. Now, these are also from our sports card rankings at nooffseason.com. There's a few guys that I think specifically have cards that can do very well from a raw to grade standpoint that people haven't talked about in a while. Ryan Williams, the wide receiver out of Alabama, who's going into his sophomore year, brilliant playmaker, has a 2024 first Bowman auto. So Bowman U Chrome first auto. When it came out, it was selling for way too much to try to make a play on. But this is where we help you, again, buy raw singles and sell them for a profit. So if you were to buy that card, it should be around $62.43 based on the 30-day average. And in PSA 10, it's selling for $200. There are no recent PSA 9 sales, but $200 in PSA 10, you have a 4% ROI on that, but that's going to go up for two reasons. Number one, our formula is calculating a 0 for the PSA 9, and it's not going to sell for 0. It's going to sell for probably 70. So you'll make more than 4%. Also, it's going to go up because this dude's going to have a great sophomore season at Alabama. LaMelo Ball is another one. His 2020 Prism Silver 278. I don't think people are really thinking about LaMelo Ball right now. And I'm not just going to tell you to go buy. This is where we're different than other content creators in the hobby. We're not just saying go buy LaMelo Ball. I think other sports card podcasts that you might listen to would be like, oh yeah, I think LaMelo Ball because like it's not the NBA season and his prices are lower and it's gonna go, and they just leave it at LaMelo Ball. I'm not going to do that. Specifically, it has to be the right card at the right time. So LaMelo Ball 2020 Prism Silver 278, $17 raw, 30-day average. That's extremely low for this guy. In PSA 10, it's low, but there's high upside. It's low for him, 243.17. Go raw to grade. You'll make more than 4%. Right now, the formula rankings at nooffseason.com shows 4%. Those are two go where they ain't. Another one I don't think anyone's thinking about because he kind of pooped the bed in his rookie season, and then he really didn't do anything last year either. Scoot Henderson, 2023 Prism 141 Silver. You can still make 8% on that. His silver base is less than an $8 card. Pretty high gem rate, still sells for $73.25 in a PSA 10. I kind of like that play as a go where they ain't because none of these guys have to do anything. You're going to make money on the grading. If they do something, you're really making money. That's why I like these. And you're welcome. Here's the last one. I've mentioned this card also recently. Connor Bedard, 2023 Upper Deck Young Guns, 451. I love this card, and the prices come down on it to the point where raw, it's $154. But in PSA 10, it still has the upside of a $500 card. And in PSA 9, it sells for close to $200. So a 23% ROI on the Connor Bedard 2023 Upper Deck Young Guns. Nobody talking about any of those four guys right now. Still high ceilings there. Connor Bedard, Scoot Henderson, LaMelo Ball, Ryan Williams. Go where they ain't. That's where the value is. Plenty of other value as well. Check out nooffseason.com for our sports card rankings. And we have a top auctions page, and we have auctions per player. So you can search by player and see their top eBay auctions that we think you can make money on. All right, now it's time for the Sports Card School Lesson of the Month. And this is a cool one. It's an Ask the Grader. So for those of you not familiar with nooffseason.com, we have a partnership with CGC Cards. As part of that partnership, our premium members can ask questions directly to the VP of CGC Cards and the head grader, Andy Broom. This is from Sports Card School. Ask the grader how to tell if a card is miscut. Let's get into it.
We dug into the mailbag and we pulled out this question. How could a card be miscut from the factory? Well, this is the image that came with that question, and so we'll take a look. As we can see here, it is miscut. It's actually what we call diamond cut, where the image is shifted like this. And this is a result of manufacturing. We think of cards as personal to us and very valuable, but, cards are like any other product. They're produced in a factory. They're produced in a printing facility. And so you have quality control issues. Now, the goal in manufacturing is to make sure you have the tightest QC that you can have, but things are still going to slip through. When you have an uncut sheet of cards and you're feeding it into the cutter, if that sheet is fed in just a fraction of an inch off, the result will be miscut cards. But the hope is that they're caught in QC. Most are, some aren't. Some do get through, and that's where we get a card like this in a pack.
All right. Thanks, Andy Broom, Vice President of CGC Cards. How to tell if a card is miscut. So you're going to see basically that one side is going to be completely sort of diagonally cut. And so he was talking about how that happens, right? And I think it's very important to be aware of different issues that cards may have before you send them in for grading. And again, that's where our card analyzer and predictor tool can really help you out. That's where our premium podcast can help you out. Our premium podcast at nooffseason.com for premium members allows our premium members to ask an unlimited amount of questions to get personalized advice to help you build your sports card investment portfolio. Everybody, thanks so much for joining me here on the Sports Card Strategy Show. I would not be able to do what I do without all of you. Thanks so much for being here with us on the Sports Card Strategy Show. If you enjoyed the content on today's show, there's plenty more waiting for you at nooffseason.com. Just go to nooffseason.com right now and get a free 30-day trial. You get our formula-based sports card rankings, sports card school, inventory tracker, the ability to grade with us, and the premium podcast where we answer an unlimited amount of your questions. Check it out right now at nooffseason.com. For everyone at nooffseason.com, I'm Paul Hickey. Thanks again for being here with us on the Sports Card Strategy Show. We'll see you again soon. Have a great day.